I can't sing low notes. I really can't, like, at some point, it's just out of my range. So, anyway, 3, 2, 1. Hello. Wow, we clap. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It is the Biendeo stream today on this fine 13th of July, 2026. I hope you're having a wonderful week. We'll have a wonderful week ahead of you. Sup, Tom? Sup, Fetty? You've seen this game before? Yeah, I told some mates I knew about this, and they were like, what do you mean this is a game that came out in the 2020s? It's not quite a game that came out in the 2020s, but I thought, hey, you know, it's got a somewhat special place in my heart, and by somewhat, I mean, you know, I played it once when it came out, and I'm playing this Switch version so entirely blind. Let's just dive into it, shall we? I'm playing this Switch version so entirely blind that... Hold on, your sound isn't dead, by the way. There's just no sound on the Switch menu. This is so blind. This is a raw cartridge just in the system, and I immediately pressed the A button on it, and I said, download updates, and that's it. I know there's content only on the Wii U version, and I'm not pulling out my Wii U version to show that off, technically, but we'll dive into it. I don't know what to expect from the Switch version. The only thing I know is that it's a tad faster, and you got this thing off on the side here, so we'll sort of leave that to its own thing. We're going to be mostly playing 3D World, and then I'll get back to the Bowser's Fury content later, or the Bowser's Furry content, as I endearingly keep calling it. But Mario 3D World, from my memory, is a 2013 Wii U title. So about a year after the release of the system. And it was the big... I mean, it's the Mario game. It's like, yeah, you know, we just went through Mario Galaxy 3 years later, Mario Galaxy 2 3 years later. Well, 1 and a bit years later, we had Mario 3D Land on the 3DS. And then this came out, and I think people were a bit harsh on it because they thought that there was this vibe shift where every Mario game would be a, you know, a level-based simplified endeavor. And then people were very, very big on Mario Odyssey, but I think in hindsight, not to say Odyssey is a bad game, but I think in hindsight, I think a lot of people were very harsh on this one. I don't know. I don't know if everyone felt the same as me at the time. I liked this game, I liked Odyssey, and I think, honestly, Donkey Kong Bonanza is the best Mario, or it's not technically a Mario game, but it's the best 3D platform they've made since Galaxy 2, so whatever everyone feels about him, it's all over the boat here. But yeah, I haven't played the Switch version at all, so I can't tell you anything about it, other than we have our 4 characters who do indeed play differently. I think Toad picks up, it's Mario 2 rules. Toad picks up things faster, Luigi jumps higher, Peach does the float, and Mario, what does Mario have? The run speed? Or is Toad the run speed? I thought Toad, maybe Mario picks up things faster. We'll start with Mario for a bit. But we'll switch between every level, how about that? Mario's balanced? There we go. Oh, and they removed the upskirt shot from this intro. I remember reading about that one. Oh, do I have to do that? Really? Are we going to be here for ages doing that? I mean, I'll take it chill at first, but we'll... Oh, really? Oh. When you say 100%, like, is it real 100%? Or is it like... Tick every box 100% kind of thing? Anyways, this Mario game involves itself around the Sprixies here. Sprixies exist. Bowser, unfortunately, has bad intentions with small fairies that fit in jars. And then he decides, hey, you know what? He's been in a pipe all of his life. I guess he's gonna do it himself. That was a good clap. Good capture. And also Peach goes in first, because why not? Who knows? Who knows what's going on with that? I thought the Wii U was a very nice system in terms of, like, it has a solid library of games. This is what I mean by the upskirt shot, by the way. Unless it's the Void. It's the Void now. But yeah, then the game just starts. Here you are. You are Mario. Castle's over there. you gotta go over there. But in order to get there, you gotta stop by every single one of these things on the way. I'm playing with a controller, by the way, so we're not gonna get these fun Joy-Con buttons. Yes, you do move faster in the overworld here. I guess they really want me to dive into level 1, don't they? I'm gonna try and find everything, but if you're telling me I gotta beat every single level as every character, we're gonna be here forever. Because, what is that, 5 playthroughs? Jeez. So, this whole game is a 4-player co-op game, but I have no friends. So, wow, you do run a lot faster than the Wii U version. I remember it being a lot slower than this. But yeah, Mario 3D World is what I can say is very, very peak Mario platformer, you know, of this time. It's got this cat power, where you can do this twirl. Oh, top of the flagpole, I'll try and go for. Shouldn't be as bad, right? You can climb up most of them with the cat. Like, look at this. You can climb, like, every wall with the cat. And then you can just cheese the level. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, more of the levels are tighter designer. Oh my goodness, don't tell me. Level 1, baby. Level 1, baby. Woo! We are doing so well. We are doing so well. Listen, I'm showing you the ropes. I'm showing you how this game is. This ain't your grandma's. Your grandma's Mario. It is your grandma's Mario. Look how smoothly they give you 2 items right off the bat. To be fair, I was going very... I was going very, very off the beaten path just then, so we'll sort of attribute it to going a bit faster. You do get a camera adjust as well, so I gotta get used to doing that, but, you know, default camera does the job. The perspective is very, very nice in this game as well. You do get a lot of, I think there's a lot of depth and a lot of clarity as to where your jumps will land. I generally don't question the geometry. I think some people sort of had that feeling at the time. I remember just when it came out and people said, oh, the geometry is so simple. And not as in, like, the actual, I guess, how would I phrase it? Also, we got this button, the dragging button. I remember that because you need to be able to touch screen at some point. How do I get rid of this button? Do I just not do it? Do I not do anything for a bit? Oh. I'm just playing around with this feature now. It's because on the Wii U you could touch the screen and they have to sort of provide an alternate way to do it. So that's going to be a bit weird. It's like I'm playing Mario Galaxy and just going to see this on the screen at all times. Alright, I coincidentally hit a button at the exact same time that disappeared last time, so... I guess I could. Weirdly, this game has a timer. I can't really explain why. It's got the Mega Mushroom. It might be the last time they've ever used the Mega Mushroom in a game, right? I do like the Mega Mushroom, it's good fun. Albeit, like, how often do you ever use this? Who knows? But it's kind of funny. I like it. So I think I'm meant to be going down here for a green star. And we gotta look for that stamp, right? I'm gonna try and blitz levels and we'll go back for the goodies. Even though I feel like topically, maybe it makes a bit of sense to do it at the same time. It's like, no, we're gonna go do it all as we ride it. Like, for example, I haven't hit the stamp in this level. Where was it? I'm not too sure off the top of my head. We could do a bit more looking, why not? It's not hanging off the edge of the level. Where would you imagine the stamp would be hiding? Yes, off the cliff. Off the cliff. Hold on, I'm trying to remember where the stamp would even be. I don't think any of them are in, like, you know, near the checkpoint. Makes sense. Oh, was it just up? No, I was like, it wasn't just up there, was it? Oh, yeah. I missed doing this. There's a goal. Right there. Well, I'm at checkpoint. Oh, really? Really? Alright, we'll come back for it. Oh, yeah, do you need certain characters for the stamps, or...? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you're saying Year of Luigi. No, that's not been that moment, too. Shut up about that, don't worry. Well, like, you're telling me that, you know, I guess first level flagpole, it's easy as, but you know what I mean. Even if you miss it a bit, as the cat, you will climb a fair bit of that flagpole, so as long as you're just generally jumping towards it, it's fine. The Pixel Luigi is there for funsies, right? It's not there for actually collecting in this game, right? It's kind of weird as well. There's a lot of Year of Luigi. Yeah, there's a lot of Year of Luigi, like, carryovers. You know, this, New Super Luigi U, what else? I think there's the Dr. Luigi instead of Dr. Mario, like, that kind of got carried over. I thought it was 2013, yeah, because it's like, I mean, it's been a while. This level's not too long, though, when you think about it. Maybe 2014, maybe. Gosh, what are the odds that I broke the pipe? I knew that was there the whole time. Easy. I love these cat Goombas. Just a bit of the sound, just the weird design. People will make fun of the cat because it came right after they did the Tanuki, and it's like, wow, you know, what will they think of next? But I like the power. I like the, you know, the climbing of walls and, you know, I guess the kind of pounce attack. Also, I like the dancing flowers. Very nice touch. Not too sure what's with the bells everywhere, but... And then, it was elephant. So, there's a stamp. All of these stamps were intended for Miiverse back in the day, and they weren't in color. But, alas, no one can experience Miiverse anymore, so, I guess you've just gotta brave with it. We can hit the online button, which allows you to play online, and you know what happens? You know what happens when you hit this button? You know what happens? You get told off, you don't pay for the subscription, so never mind. But it's got local play, so I mean, that's fine. I don't know if Game Share plus Game Chat, do I need online in order to do that? Probably not. Okay, thanks, game. Anyways. Switch 2, am I right? Also, was that a little UI icon for the Switch 2? There's a bunch of games that have, like, patches to support Switch 2 functionality in some way. For example, you can't tell on stream, but this game is definitely in 4K. They just patched it. It's got 4K. Replacement servers would be nice, yeah. I haven't tried going back for the Switch 2 functionality. I know I can juggle them and get a... There we go, hold on. This isn't the right spot, but sure, we'll do that. I got a lot of fun little design all over the place for toying around with the mechanics. Which I like. Good fun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do it in this level. We also got the Fire Flower, which, these fireballs feel so much more appealing in this game, I tell ya. Lots of coins as well, everyone likes them. Now you're gonna say, oh, for 100% you gotta get, crown lives. Or something like that. Listen, on stream, that's gonna be a... It's... oh yeah, I forgot to even mention as well the fact that 3D World does have the theme in Mario Maker 2. It is a weirdly different feeling though, isn't it? That was easy. I mean, it's a... Listen, it's a Mario game I've played before, and then also it's a, oh. I was thinking it was like Galaxy where they group up on you. That's okay. Gotta get those coins, right? Yeah. It did, yes, but I mean, it's because it was a somewhat, you know, what do they describe this as? It's a 3D Mario game that plays like a 2D Mario game. That was their big advertising point the whole time. Stamper! Hold on. Aim. that didn't really work out quite as well. That was good fun. Another secret in this stage. Okay, I'll take your word for it. See, I mean, now it starts getting a bit more, you know, precarious to hit the, there he goes, his front foot. It gets a bit more precarious to hit the top of the flagpole, but, you know, I can cheat a little bit. You can always cheat. Just bring a cat from another stage. Just save it for the end. It's fine. No one judges. It's fine. Okay. Do you want me to go back for it, or just keep going? Also... We'll hit the mushroom house, why not? But, yeah. I don't know what, also, we big box or little box, guys? Because it's been a while since I've done big box, little box. What are we doing? Big box, little box. Big box? We got one vote for big. Tom, are you up for a big box? You a big box or a little box guy? Little box, okay. I was gonna say eeny, meeny, miny, moe. I can't do anything about this. I'm going with Lil. I'm going with Tom's expertise today. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. I mean, it's a 50-50, isn't it? It's like, actually, just whatever. Alright, do you want me to go back into level, or we'll do, 1A? We'll do the blockade, why not? We'll go back for the 1-2 and, say what's up with it. This is a hard level. It involves killing 2 charging chucks. Oh my gosh, maybe I could actually land on them. Maybe I could actually... You have to ground pound them? Because I'm pretty sure just jumping... Oh no. Okay. So, it's not too bad. There's a lot of these... Oh, a little warp zone. I would like to show off the warp zone. That'd be nice. Well, if it's 1-2, then that means it's over the wall at the end. No, let's check it out. Let's check it out. That's what I get for not assuming the Mario conventions there. But no, this map screen is very Mario 3. You know what I mean? Like, I get that vibes. You got the enemies you pounce on, obviously the toad houses. It's not at the very beginning of this level. That'd be insane if you could just skip the whole level. Yeah, no, playable map's kind of good fun. Mario Wonder's got a good playable map as well. There's a lot of fun little secrets in that map. So I believe the green stars, for reference, that we're getting... Why are they green stars? I don't know. They keep changing them between different games. But I assume that they're from memory because you need so many in order to access the levels. Galaxy 2, that is true. Galaxy 2 did have them. But in Galaxy 2's, they were, you know, extra content. And partially Luigi coded. I feel like I probably should have judged based on the light coming out of this. Oh, come on. It kind of seems like he's trying. But he's not getting there. That is true. Need to go back a bit. Maybe I'll go up the wall on this side. I see the crack, like it kind of... Oops. Don't exit, don't leave me with it. There's a try again button in this level, alright, in this game. I see what you mean, but I don't see it happening. I don't know, man. This is, you're telling me now for the first time. I don't know what's going on here. Well, I'm like blitzing through this level. This game moves so quick. It's way quicker than the Wii version. How about let's use it as an opportunity to mention a news story. And not losing my power-up. So the first news story I have... Do I keep the cat? Do I keep the cat? Yes, okay. At least I've got that. I've got that, don't worry. Don't worry. The first news story is not a news story, but it's more a thing I want to notice, which is sort of... I think people expected this over some time. See what I mean? There might be like a gap in the ceiling here. Like, what are we getting at here? What are we going on here? You see what I mean? There's a crack in the ceiling. Oh, so I'm gonna try it for like one hot moment more, and then it's like, ah, that's it. But sort of shadow dropped. We have a PS5 re-release of, and I don't know if it's on the Xbox. Crack the Sky. Well, I guess there'd be another one here, right? Oh, we'll crack the sky back there. Why not? Why not? Let's go all the way. Okay, fine. Try the whole course again. Oh, you want me to Rising Clouds it? Hold on. Rising Clouds. We only get to so far. There you go. It's kind of good fun that it's there the whole time. I didn't even know this was there. Whoa. Whoa. It's like I'm playing New Super Mario Bros. 2 or something, you know? Ooh. When you said this level has a secret and it wasn't that one, it's like, no, different secret. Anyway, shadow dropped. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2 re-released on the PlayStation 5. I'm not a big fan of them charging so much for season passes separately in a nearly, what, 15-year-old game? Okay. Hold on, do you want me to crawl up on this side or closer to this side? It's here? As in it's further, as in I climb up further back here? Or, I mean, I see the other bit there. I see lots of cracks. I can see I assume it's not the crack. Ah, okay. Well, that's different. That's different. That's not the same place. That's not... I mean, it is a warp pipe, but that's not where I was expecting when you said, oh, there's a warp pipe. I wasn't expecting there. Also, hi. What happens canonically? Because I've skipped the Sprixie from the other world. That's curious. Can I even wander back? I can't even wander back that way. Just have to magically walk back. Alright, anyways, curiosity's there. Point is, Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2 are out. And, you know what I find absolutely curious, though, is that, never mind that, you know, a lot of people are playing this game, they're getting back into it. You know what's surprising? A lot of people had never gone back for, yeah, I will say something about the releases, but you know what's a curious moment I think we can see? Is that a lot of people are playing this game for the first time, and they've immediately picked up on the sensibilities, the play style, and somewhat the cultural mechanics of the time, whether it's some of the more crass natures of people customizing their own emblems, you know, kind of the free-for-all on the voice chat, people doing, like, trick shots and other sorts of things, people, like, having fun with wild, like, kind of, you know, the time to kill is crazy on those games, like, seriously. People are having a remarkably good time, and people are also experiencing the game in the same way that people used to. An older game, all of its concepts and mechanics and even its culture live on purely by, well, back when COD was good, maybe, but, like, isn't it curious that a lot of people go, oh, you know, like, COD used to be better, yada yada yada, or maybe every franchise to some degree, everyone will always point to some game and say whether it was better or not. But isn't this a great example of one where so many people can, you know, can experience a game, not even, you know, with the veil of you know, nostalgia or anything, and yet experience it and enjoy it in exactly the same way that you did when you first played it 15 years ago. The problem is not nostalgia, I think, and a lot of people, I think, nostalgia is such a deflection argument. Like, because there are so many games that are great, regardless of whether you played them last year or 20-something years ago or something like that. Game that good, exactly. I say one of the best examples I always cite is that I loved Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and I played it for the first time like 7 years ago. What's a Mario game without the star? Don't say sunshine. You might be wondering what's up in the other direction, but given that we've got 3 stars and a stamp, I forgot what's up on the other... Oh, I mean, I say it. Wow, don't we have a thing that lets me climb up that way? I like how it's the long enemy as well. There we go. You could be gutsy and maybe jump this whole distance, but... I think it's easier to just run past them. Alright, what do we do about this guy? Wait for him to do that thing and then jump on him? Twice? Okay, sure. And there we go. Look at these tall trees chilling back here. And they put nothing at the top of any of these... Oh, there's one. There's one. At least they're nice enough to not override an object with the mushroom there. Super Mario Sunset. Oh, I thought you were gonna say, speaking of Super Mario Sunset, hope you enjoyed the phone game while it lasted. Mario Kart Tour is shutting down. It's over. So there's that, and that one's a hard decommission as well. That whole game is just going away. So there's that. But no, I'm happy that Black Ops is getting, you know, a revitalization with this re-release, and I'm curious. Just connect online. I've tried. So, anyways, Plessy's Plunging Falls. Everyone loves Plessy. He's my favorite athlete.
Let's go.
You give me a tutorial on Plessy? Or, no, you just expect me to figure this out. Okay. Where you jump? Oh no, there you go. Head for the goal. Tilt with the stick and jump. When you're playing with friends, you'll find out that it's easier if everyone knows what you're doing. And then we get good old secret slide music. Yeah, it doesn't have the DLCs, which is very weird. They've made it where you're not... I think they said you're not filtered out of lobbies with people if you're playing a regular, you know, base game map, but you've got people with the season pass. To which I go, wow, that was kind of weird at first. There is an exclusive course in Mario Kart Tour. I've never played Mario Kart Tour, but it does sadden me that, like, this happens, I guess. I don't trust myself in getting anything here first go. Well, not anything, you know what I mean. Waterfall secret? Waterfall secret, every time. Every time. Oh, snap. No, I timed my jump wrong. This game gives you plenty of lives, so I don't expect anything too bad. Yeah, exactly. So, well, you know what's great about Activision? There are definitely stable staffing situation. Because I guess that's the other big news of the week, is the fact that Microsoft... yeah, I mean, listen, every one of these Mario games, they have the... they ride the thin line of, like, how much do we push the player and how much do we... I guess, you know, sort of, like, put them in a big situation. I know Mario Wonder, I was burning quite a bunch of lives on those final levels. You do keep the green stars in this version. I know the Wii U version you didn't. So at least that makes it a tad easier on the Switch version. And you can also just retry from the pause menu if you really wanted to. So look at the save files dialog from down here. I could erase my save game from here. Have you ever seen this guide menu, by the way? Look at that. In case you want to learn how to do... what's the attack that no one knows? The Synchro Ground Pound. So... we got amiibo support. I have no amiibos, by the way. And we have snapshot mode, so... anyways, that's that. Anyways, I just wanted to show that off. I mean, the stamp was over here, so I couldn't do both in the same breath. This was by design. Look at that, you can even use the stamp right here. Hold on. What's this? Hold on. Change stamp? No, change the stamp. Don't change the filter, change... There we go. Oh, we got... Mario, right there. Oh, I was like, why is it not appearing on the water? There you go. Anyways, can I do the castle level next? Sure. Yeah, touch angle. There's not a lot of things to tap the screen on in this game. I think Rayman Legends came out the same year. Or rather, it shouldn't have. It should have come out the year before, but Ubisoft be like that. Yeah, no, I can do the castle level next. Thank you, Plessy. Not to be confused with Nessie. I want to see if I can actually get the flagpole. Yikes. 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 We'll come back for it, don't worry. I'm not going to hold up the momentum just because I need to get the top of a flagpole. Yeah, I was thinking I probably had to. Oh, but I missed the circus level. Darn. Also, before I do the castle level, we do have to show off the most important level. The second most important level, which is cave. Everyone loves going into little cave. Big box, little box. Big box, little box. Which one are we up for? Big, big. We got one vote for big. Big box. I'm going with big box. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Who's the one VTuber and she bet, like... Not bet, like, but bragging around. She was like, oh, I'm going to support my team in the World Cup. And she is 1 out of 8. She got 1 right. I think she went for France and they won their game. You could win up to 777 coins. Alright. See, this is pretty easy. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4. This really didn't work out in my favor, did it? Woo! I mean, good thing I'm not a betting person. So you just listen to this VTuber. Yeah, we'll skip you, Captain Toad. You want to do the thing? 10 stars! Jeez, they're really pushing for it. I guess if I ignore 2 other levels, that would have given me... This would give me 5, that would give me another 3, I'd be at 21 stars. But no, you wanted the castle level next. That's okay. Bowser's Highway Showdown. But yeah, no, we've got the big Microsoft layoffs. In a blog post titled, what was it called? Restructuring, refreshing Xbox, something like that. Love the soccer balls. 1,600 people, they said they were firing in an instant, with 3,200 by the end of the year. I'm not too sure if the 1,600 includes the studios that they've effectively let go of, you know, within their administration. So, I think 4 studios. One was Ninja Theory, one was Double Fine. I'm not too sure what the other 2 were off the top of my head, but big rip to all of them, because this is, you know, like, on the one hand, it is a fair bit of their livelihood in that kind of sense of, like, what is, you know, what they're doing there. But I think some of those studios were let off into Arcane and Compulsion. Oh, yeah, rip Arcane, jeez. Was it, like, full Arcane? Because I remember they talked about Arcane... Oh, come on, really? I remember they let go Arcane Austin. Either, was that in this moment, or was that the State of Decay one? And none of these studios were, like, releasing bad... Oh, maybe Arcane. But, like... You know what I mean? Like, what's the... How many of them were releasing, like, bad kinds of games? And these things as well, when I talked about it in the Game Awards... Oh, hold on, I want to get him. I want to get him. Yeah. when I talked about it in the Game Awards, I said, you know, like Xbox had a lot of titles. They had a lot of like franchises and things that they were ready to talk about and really show off. And I was just like, man, you know, they do hire a lot of people. I think the theory that I saw people say was Microsoft makes, like, they spend billions of dollars and they make hundreds of millions in profit. Like, their net profit is actually only 3% of their operating costs. Like, the other two are being sold. Yeah, at least it's like people get to stick slightly with the business. At least it's less disruptive than a proper full layoff. But on the other hand, people at id are being laid off. People at Bethesda are being laid off. People at I don't know if anyone on the Activision Blizzard side, but the fact that Microsoft owns all of these businesses is definitely like, hi, yes, you're under top management to somehow pull this off correctly. You know, Bowser isn't like, oh, what? Bowser is not making any haste here. That was some very unfortunate timing there. This is a slapping boss theme. I think he meant to chase Bowser here a little bit, but like I have no real reason to like push forward other than he's gonna awkwardly throw his balls in a very weird position for me, and I'm just gonna miss it every time. Hold on, here we go. Come on, we'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, he jumped. He jumped. It's been a while since I've done this fight. He's smoking. I like this bridge to nowhere theme that lots of Mario games seem to use. Maybe the secret is I should just be chasing him across these bridges to nowhere. Oh no, my bicycle. It's not a bicycle at all. Certainly there's a couple of things with Bethesda that we need to note as well. Because apparently a bunch of people, were laid off at Bethesda, and some people, I think I saw an article that was titled, according to IGN, there's a Pirate Nation tweet, according to IGN, recent layoffs at Bethesda Game Studios could further delay The Elder Scrolls 6. The report says that more than 50 employees, including programmers, artists, and designers, were laid off. Some of them were reportedly working on the game. Several employees said the layoffs have hurt morale. One source said that the staff cuts could have a major cascading effect on both the game and the studio. Another source said Bethesda has lost a great deal of experience and knowledge, including a developer who had been with the company since The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. And as much as I go, it does suck that people lose their jobs. On the other hand, this is the same studio that brought us Starfield, about 3 different Skyrim re-releases, and a version of Oblivion that was buggier than the one from 20 years ago. Bugger is a slur in England. Don't say that one out loud. Sorry. But yeah, it's like, you know, as a part of me goes, what on earth were some of these companies doing? Again, I think I see a lot of people say a bunch of people from id Software were laid off, and I'm sitting there going, I'm not too sure how many people really liked Doom the Dark Ages. I think people enjoyed it, but as much as the others, I'm not too sure. And certainly I think, you know, the DLC just came, that is true. I feel like a little bit of writing on the wall in the sense of, like, again, companies are not growing at investment money speeds. And a lot of game studios aren't really, so let's do the Captain Toad level. Let's go back for it. Now, I love... Alright, see you, Tom. Have a good one. Now, I love these Captain Toad levels. Introduced in this game, and then brought forward into a full game on the Wii U, and then ported onto the 3DS, and then ported onto the Switch, are these fun levels. Captain Toad, fearless hunter of green stars, is ready for adventure. Guide him safely through the course in his search for 5... Make sure to get all 5 in order to take them home. And then move the camera with stuff, and yeah. Also, he can't jump. So, But yeah, what a fun little diorama style level that they put out where everything's hiding around and you've got to turn the camera around in order to truly know what's going on. And you can pick up things, but they're fun changes in pace, albeit I think they have nothing to do with everyone who's not player one, but hey, you know, they'll watch this from afar, they'll be like, ooh, you know, they want to see Captain Toad do well. So you gotta watch out as well, you gotta make sure that you're not tapping stuff. There's something curious about the shader model in this game, because I've played Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. Maybe one day on stream. Maybe. It's a solid game. I liked it. Straightforward enough level. I love him. He's so adorable. I don't want anything to happen to him. But yeah, I'm a bit critical of, like, you know, people who sort of go, these companies hire lots and lots of hardworking people, you know, like that kind of, you know, like, on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, there's something weird about these game companies because ultimately they're not delivering, you know, I guess the greatest kinds of experiences. At least, I don't know, compared to games, not to say, oh, we used to have it better, but legitimately, like, there's so many games that are cash grabs nowadays. Here's a clear example of one. By the way, I love this reflection. Good fun. It's not even screen space. I think it's a real, granted, low resolution re-render. Because, I mean, if you look close enough, that is certainly, oops. It's the home button. But still, I mean, listen, if we're gonna critique, you know, like, draw distance or other sorts of stuff, it's like, hey, you know, what's the game like in motion? It's nice and pretty in 60 FPS, this game. Actually, it's nice and pretty in 4K, actually. I love as well, there's a bunch of Nintendo games that they really should go back to and properly do a 4K, like, kind of touch up on. Because, like, legit, if I look at this game and you look kind of close up, probably on stream you might struggle to see the artifacting because I'm trying to zoom in a 4K picture on us. Oh, it's going even closer. Because the game just does that when you aren't doing anything. What's the name of these bees? They're in a few games now. I remember Mario Galaxy had these question mark switches, and they just love using them in every game now. It's a fun concept, I like it. Or don't get juked out by the green shell above. True. They do, I think they do have knees, technically. I love the circus vibe level. And I like a lot of the ideas they have with them. What are the name of these enemies? Parabuddies? Parabuddy buddies? Alright. Parkour! There we go. But yeah, we had the Assassin's Creed remaster come out, and I think a lot of people went, ugh. Like, it's like people going, well, it is kind of Assassin's Creed 4. It's not less remaster and more remake. It's trying to revitalize a bunch of features from later Assassin's Creeds into the context of the, I guess, earlier game there. But, like, there's a lot of curious issues. I think some people noticed that, you know, the cutscenes were only, like, 30 FPS for some reason. Performance is a bit shocking. The fact that they charge more than the base game for skins that I think existed in the original release, like on disc. Just extra stuff is being sold to you as if it were a bonus, and it's like, that's not a bonus, that's what we were used to. Players just, you know, they want more ways to enjoy games. How about, just don't gouge us for the content, I guess. Where's the stamp? I'm curious. Turns out Ubisoft is back. Yeah. Well, 2 days after the game came out, they announced 50 people were being fired from Ubisoft Barcelona who worked on the game. They're not lead number one on the, can I do the spin? Yeah, spin jump. Hold on. Maybe I'll do a wall jump off the back. That's easier. I kind of timed the music right. Kind of. But, like, how weird is it to, like, announce layoffs at a company right as you've released the game. Maybe not that weird, because it's like, well, you know, why were they still employed? Well, they push out a game. Game's out. No more need for employment. Maybe they just decide that. But what a cruel way to go. You know, we're losing so many people in these layoffs all over the place. But what a strange kind of predicament. Also, is that the whole world? Did we do the whole world in one go? I guess we did. There you go. Easy. Let's do the next world. What a runway to be fired. Exactly. I love this music, by the way, the way it keeps blending into the other themes. I guess you could say, is Desert World very overdone in Mario realm? Free stamp! But if you're wondering about overall game progress, just look at those stamps, because that's a very clear way of knowing that you're on the right lines. But yeah, now, as well, a bunch of people from id got fired, but again, yeah, like I kind of said, is id, you know, Shipper Theseus, a shell of the former self. I wanted to try and jump on it, but I think it's easier to just get him with it. The reaction time is rather poor, isn't it? And everyone likes the quicksand. It's good fun. But yeah, a bit of Shipper Theseus, because a lot of people are like, oh, id, you know, the guys who made Doom, and it's like, I think there are some artists at id who were there during Doom 3, I think. And, yeah, I'm not too sure if all of them are there now. But, like, Doom 3 was also, like, 20-something years ago. It's been a while. It has been quite a solid while. Also, time for drawing, if you wanted to do that kind of stuff. Also, why are there ledges here? Who knows? Point is that the game industry is in a weird state. Or should I say, the Western game industry is in a very weird state. Oh, how do I get up there? Because everything's on a bit of a lip here. Maybe this block will be the key to my woes. There you go. New Super Mario Brothers 2, here we come! And I don't want to die. Oh! I need to get in on this golden shower. Mario's golden shower, that's what we're enjoying here. Well, it was fun while it lasted. But I will say, on the topic of me not liking Bethesda products, I am into the DLC of Fallout 4. I just, as of 2 hours ago, Nintendo... Yeah. Listen, Nintendo... Actually, I did have... There was an interesting part. Let me mention this on the Xbox front. I did see someone bring up an interesting way of breaking this down, and that is many consoles exist in 3 cycles. You've got your launch cycle, your post-launch cycle, and then your wind-down cycle. Virtually every console goes through these 3 stages. They last for a couple of years each, and usually you'd feel by the end of, you know, each stage that you've moved into the next one. The launch cycle starts off at first. You've got your new hardware. You know, you're trying to justify it. It's nice and pretty. Game devs now can, you know, do so many things with your hardware. And, I mean, we see how it is. You get games sort of exploring around, but also optimization is not fully there. Hardware costs are not as efficient as they end up being. And, the games, you know, like, it's an interesting time. Who knows what's going on here? I love these enemies, by the way. They're kind of fun. Oh, except for that. I hate these enemies now. That makes a bit more sense. There we go. So, obviously, the Switch 2 is in a pre-launch period. Oh, sorry, not pre-launch. It's in its launch period. The Switch 2 is a console that just came out. Well, did they get out the launch cycle? Well, the problem with both of those consoles is that so the second stage, the mid-cycle, everyone's favorite power-up right here. The mid-launch cycle is when the cost of manufacturing the product go down, either because technology has advanced quite a fair bit in 2 or 3 years. game developers know how to harness the system a bit more and therefore get much more optimized games coming out. Think in the PS2 games that came out in 2003 even, we'll say. We're getting like Need for Speed Underground, we're getting maybe Underground 2 if you really want to go that front. Watch out! Watch out, my brave Toad Explorer. How you doing? There we go. Thank you very much. But like, think that kind of era on the 360. Well, somewhat the previous console generation was also a departure, because the PS4 and the Xbox One didn't go down in price in the same kind of manner, which was a bit odd. Even the Switch late cycle started to not be affected by that, and partially it's because all the crypto stuff happened at the end of 2020, which was when the life cycles went out. I guess on the one hand, that was near the end of the life cycle. But at least the games were somewhat solid. Then you get the last period, the wind down cycle. This is when, yes, indeed, things are lower, but also, you're starting to be outclassed by competitors. So in the case of those consoles, you'd start to get the Switch really stealing a lot of the limelight for 2018, 2019, even 2017. Certainly the PS4, by the time the PS5 came out, the Switch was kind of really obsolete by then. We have to play the Bowser game. I.e., World 2-2, but sure. Gen 7 was the last classic one. I'd argue it was not even Gen 7. Gen 7 had a lot of quirks about it. I'm using touch controls. Keep getting its SR on the... So, anyways, yeah. Throw your thingy around and, use it to touch the blocks. This was easier on the Wii U gamepad, but you wouldn't really know what I was doing on the Wii U gamepad, so for presentation reasons, it makes a bit more sense here. That is true. It did have a lot of games, and we did. You know what's curious about this level? Because I think, I'm not actually too sure, but I think, actually maybe it's not. Maybe this is just me. Look at this guy right here. No more Paraglumba for me. I think it was. I think it was a big thing. This is a cheeky secret. Also, shout out 8BitDo Pro 3 for the motion controls actually working on this. Is stream scripted few frames? That's network buffering on your end. Because I am at 0 out of 0. Not out of 0. Unless you're watching on YouTube. But you probably wouldn't know that I'm on YouTube right now. I'm still testing it out. This is going to be fun with motion controls. There we go, good stuff. No, I've done multi-streams before, but I haven't fully announced it on YouTube, so it's still very much like I'm quality testing and getting that kind of stuff. I still haven't, I need to get the chat synced between the two as well, so it can appear on stream a bit better. Got the stamp. It's more, yeah, I was like, there's much more level than this one. So I don't know if blowing in the microphone is lost in this version. It came up like twice. I don't know if it ever happens here. Oh, I can bully these little tiny Goombas. There we go. Soft launch. Maybe soft launch, yeah. So anyway, so the late cycle, especially in the current era, sorry, the mid cycle, hasn't existed. We should be living in the mid-cycle, and we're approaching the late cycle of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series. But we haven't. Not only are, the consoles getting more expensive, and granted, it's not because of the console manufacturers, like, doing worse. It's, you know, it's well beyond their, somewhat. Sony contributes to it partially. Well, exactly, yeah. A lot of people felt that disconnect, exactly, because if you didn't feel it in the last console generation, and sort of there, but not really, but like, you definitely feel it now. These consoles should be getting cheaper, but instead, you know what was the best time to buy a Switch 2? Actually, sorry, let me say that. You know what's the best time to buy an RTX 4090? Day one. Because it became worse and worse and worse from there on out. And, you know, I guess a Switch 2, in theory, the price is going up. PS5, even, you know, the price is going up. Exactly. And part of it is, you know, we talk about the games as well. What are the games that have come out for these systems? It's like, Destruction All-Stars? No. Concord? No. You know, like, there's a... Oh my gosh, I've been spending my time on this level. Unfortunately, I've got to nail this jump, so let's actually get the long jump. I got it, we're good. The PS4 had big first-party games. Well, think about it, the PS5 doesn't have an exclusive Gran Turismo. Still on the PS4. Also, what are they doing with Gran Turismo? They're, like, not to say it needs content all the time, but I'm just curious why it takes so long between releases. Who knows? But yeah, where is our late console life cycle? Where's our mid-cycle? We've sort of immediately jumped to the end. These consoles have become obsolete so quickly. Game developers not only really want to hammer in with the ray tracing and stuff, and they literally can't, because not only are they quite incapable of it, but like they're like very first-gen ray tracing technology. Big box, little box. But also, also, if you... I love these clouds, by the way. Little box. Thank you, Fetty. Got me the good stuff. I was gonna say, didn't, Mario 3D Land have a recurring... or have an ongoing score counter? I don't think this game has it, right? No. I wasn't paying attention. No, it doesn't. It's per level. It's kind of neat, though. I like the per level. Shadow Play Alley. I love the idea for this level. And then also partially implementation as well. It's like, oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, I know you can do some, like, kind of... some, like, Odyssey level, like, kind of dashing, but I have no idea how to do it. Nah. Oh, well, I tried. Everyone likes a fuzzy. But yeah, this late cycle doesn't actually exist on these consoles, and I think that's probably the sign that you know everything's messed. And these consoles are failing because of that, because I think they should be getting more and more profitable, but the operation costs of making a console have been going up over time as well. I don't think game sales... I mean, PS5's doing okay. You know, like, it's a console that sold 90 million or so. Is it 90 million? 80 million units? Sup, Swing Dingo? Swingo? Dingo? I've been doing alright. Thank you very much, my man. I'm playing on my Nintendo Switch. But no, I've been enjoying Mario 3D World today, which has been good fun. I'm a Shadow Mario. There we go. Games. Well, this is another thing as well. We talk about, like, how much does it cost to make, you know, like, here's an example. We'll just, nah, it's all good. It gave me the first time chatter thing. I was like, what? It's been a while since Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Technically, you've come in on the, I don't know why I winged that. This is a touch thing, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, this is a fun one. Nope. It's not a perspective change. Oh. I wonder where the star was. But technically, this is a blind playthrough because I've never played the Switch version of this game. Technically. Which is a tad faster than the Wii U version. And touching the... You know, well, not touching, but motion controlling on the touchscreen is A little different. All of that there. But yeah, I don't think these consoles are particularly making crazy profits for Sony. And so much so that I think one sign that we're seeing is that these console manufacturers have gone, well, at least Sony has gone, hey, like, we need to wind down Blu-ray production in-house in general. There are still people, I think, that have license to produce Blu-rays, but I do think as well, where they're going, hey, in-house, we're not going to produce Blu-rays, which means we won't be publishing console Blu-rays as much. Who knows, maybe other companies will be publishing Blu-rays, but, like, you know, when they say, hey, you know, Blu-rays, we're not going to be making more, I think it's for a lot of reasons, but they've just gone, hey, the returns are better if we start making big AI factories and, or producing parts for AI stuff. I don't know what Sony actually do themselves. They don't produce memory. Maybe motherboards, things like that. OEMs, TVs. It's bound, I mean, they're bound to have some stuff for the production. But the question is, I have no idea what what ends up in that because I don't have a, I guess, you know, if they serve a business purpose there, I don't know what the business purpose is. Or sorry, the business use case. Who are the customers? Who are the people who buy Sony electronics of some variety? Beyond PlayStations. Also, people gotta stop buying PlayStations as cheap AI machines. You know what? You actually, I mentioned that the other stream with the BC250s. I did it. That's gonna juke me out when I'm being forced to play the levels as certain characters in order to get those stamps. Yeah, I mean, people are buying BC2... Oh, he got juked by the lying over baseball. Oh my goodness, that's terrible play for me. Terrible play. That'd be embarrassing if I died to a Paragoomba. I died in level 1, I don't need it again. If you're wondering why they're using Goombas, I believe it's because they've committed to the Mario World kind of vibe here. Pretty sure there's a power-up in one of these. Oh, unfortunately, it's going to be a mushroom now. Wii U, 3DS, and Switch do have that progression. Well, they do, yeah. Well, the Wii U, like, its life cycle was quicker. I mean, when you think about it, that was a console that lasted 4.5 years. Which isn't, it's not the worst or the quickest we've seen in recent times. I think the Xbox was about as long, a tad bit quicker even. The Xbox was quite brief. I swear the green star, there's like one over, like, on the wall here. I don't want to run too fast because it'd be very easy to jump off a ledge here. Oh, look at that, coins. Wow. I think the 3DS did well, though. Over its lifespan, it did fairly alright. But certainly, I think people can look at it and go, it wasn't the DS. It wasn't as great a selling system. The Vita never went off the mark. So, I feel like Sony can immediately point to that and go, well, we lost to phones, in particular, at that point in time. Yeah, exactly. And it's weird as well, because, like, the PS4 is an amazingly well-selling system. I think partially because Xbox is, you know, crapping itself, and also because, who knows, where is these stars? No way is, all that level and the first green star is not there. Everyone likes, it's less a secret to everyone and more, it's just there. Do you think it was down there? Oh, that looks fancy, but I don't think it was. Does look like it's up here, though. No, coins, really? The Vita was successful in Japan. Yeah, true. But unfortunately, despite the fact that even most Japanese people buy disc-based, you know, disc-based games, they, I don't know. They're choosing their own path on this one. love these rooms like this. I knew it was the middle green star. What do you think the other one would have been? Right off the top? Right off the top, maybe? I don't know. We'll go back for it. If I go back, I mean I have to do the level again to go back for it. And we're at the end of the level, which means I've done something very, very wrong. Something's very, very wrong in this one. Whoa. Usually they're not hiding anything in the trees anymore. Hercules, look for bonuses in the trees. Meow. There he is. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Xbox stuff is curious and interesting, and it's the fact that we're getting that alongside the, you know, the Sony doing weird stuff all the time. Everyone's doing layoffs. I guess there's no big PlayStation studio they're talking about doing layoffs in, but still, it's a bit of a curious one. They did! They've never truly recovered since the Xbox One. I love this crawl, by the way. Also, who put this here? They put all these little secrets around here. Listen, be committed. Be committed. I have done a lap in these shoes. All to gamble. And it's not to say the PlayStation's been perfect. And especially, you know, they're talking about $599 US. Well, we got a life. You know, like that was PS3 launch. Not really too hot, but you know, I guess as a console, they've generally tried to be much more customer friendly in terms of like, oh, you know.
Let's go.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like they just kind of kept their mouth shut and just did what they were doing the same, you know, the whole time. Not to say there's, you know, I guess there's only really the three big manufacturers because console making is a big, tough industry, and I'm not too sure. Honestly, I'm not too sure how Nintendo's even gonna keep in this in the long game. But certainly, they are sitting on mad stacks of cash. I can't believe I missed that star. Nintendo's sitting on mad stacks of cash. That Switch made a ton of money late cycle. Like, that chip is based on, like, what is it? It's a Pascal-based Tegra. It's like, that was fairly easy to manufacture back in the day. And now we've got an Ampere-based one. Again, the Ampere stuff is great because it's not hinged on TSMC's plant. I remember listen, you can go back on the old videos. When I mentioned that one, I was like, I think the Switch 2 will be in fairly good supply. Unfortunately, you know, it's not that everyone's using TSMC 3 nanometer. There's something down here, right? Or do you think this is a pit? This looks like a part that you drop down in, but I don't know. The camera isn't coming down with me, which makes it seem... Oh, no. It is something down there. And the... I had a hunch. Except one, the play... True, the playdate. But yeah, I think one other problem with Xbox, of course, is that both the Xbox One... maybe not quite the Xbox One, but certainly the Xbox Series, there's no difference with a PlayStation 5. It's got more compute units in the RDNA 3 graphics. RDNA 3? RDNA 2 graphics. Which should make it the more powerful system, but the memory bandwidth is also a little bit of a killer, I think, Nintendo 64 on that front. A little bit, not too much. But at the end of the day, the game devs go, well, there's more people with the PlayStation, so we're just going to make our games look okay for the PlayStation. That's why, you know, whenever people compare the PlayStation 2 with, like, the Xbox has way more processing power than the PlayStation 2. And yet, because of the PlayStation 2's install base, many games were sort of brought back down to just be okay on the PS2. If you're a good game dev, you can maybe harness the power of multiple systems at once. You could be like, hey, my Xbox version of the game looks like this, and my PS2 version unfortunately looks a bit blurrier or something like that. I like these combat houses. They're good fun. Now, if only they didn't put 15 of them back to back. Also, ending with Fire Bros is a good meme. That was a good, like... True, true. It's still taking its time. It's still taking its time. But, it's getting there. It's getting there. Listen, people will scoff at the use of AI, but I'm like, you know, this is one that I'm starting to see people get success stories out of, so, like... I will keep it as a maybe. I'll keep it as a maybe. Reverse engineering stuff and stuff like that. But, is it perfect? No. Is it, a proven science? Heck no as well. Is it cheap? Also probably not. Can you do it locally? Maybe. And if you can, well, at least it'll be better than constantly hitting, Claude in its ever so changing window of, no, I swear, please, use Claude Fable 5. Claude Mythos. We must get people using this model that's too dangerous for the world, or else no one will actually know it's too dangerous. And then they proceed to, like, nerf the model so hard that, like, there's no reason to use it. Dreadful. I do have, one piece of hardware news as well. I love this jam, by the way. Well, 2 pieces of hardware news. It's me. By the way, I love this power-up. Is it the clone cherry? Is that what they call it? The Torment Nexus? Fortunately, we're not building the Torment Nexus just yet. Or are we? We might be, actually. You see, they've now made these walls too big for me. Whoop. I do like how, even if you do stray, the clones do start to group up a little bit. And then they do like using... particularly fire flowers. That seems to be the, true. It's a me! I'm loving this right here. So, anyways, the first rumor... That's just awkward. How about let's do it again? Let's do it again. I need to do this again. You know where this is going. I was trying to like glance over and read my story. I'll blame myself on that one. But the rumor mill is saying that the Apple M7 and M6, well, the M6 Pro and the M6 Max is reportedly being skipped, which I think I've sort of mentioned before. But now we're targeting 1.5 terabytes of maximum unified memory on the M7 Pro. This will be a crazy expensive chip, mind you. Also, just note the fact that they did support 512 gigabytes of memory on the M3 Ultra, and they took that off as an option because I don't know why. Probably because the original prices didn't make sense, and they just decided, well, it didn't make sense because of, you know, AI is stealing everyone's memory. I wonder if you get something for defeating all of them. Alas, you do not. Anyways, I like how these things, you're meant to split them up. And that's why I was like, oh, I'm going to need that eventually. Now, if you've done this well... I guess they're all not getting stuck there, are they? Oh. Terrible move from my part. I don't know if you need every single one of them, but I think you need, like, 3 of them. This game is a lot harder now that everything's faster, though, is it? Unless we got a secret one there, just for me. I know the red coins are just for power-ups, but alas. Oh, we got there. We got there in the end. We got there. But yeah, certainly a lot of memory on offer, at least from the rumor mill. Also, remember, that's M7 we're talking about. We're still up to M5. It's a me! It's a me! How many of these guys can you have? I could barely even fit them all here. I think I'm meant to have one on this. Hold on. We'll get him here. Oh, There we go. I figured out how to just wall jump ad infinitum on a corner. There we go. I gotta take on Z Fire Bro. That's a bit easier if you do it like that, I guess. Is there anything up this wall? Probably not. No. No, probably not. I'll get down there eventually. Well, I did bring 4, so let's see how we do here. Up we go. Up we go. The other piece of hardware news that I wanted to mention as well, and this is still downstream from the AI stuff, is we've got an article from Notebook Check. Rumored AMD RDNA 5 specs. Hold on, I gotta nail this jump. There we go. RDNA 5 specs point to impressive performance gains, but one detail raises eyebrows. What a great title. But this is a Moore's Law is dead leak, so, and give this a big grain of salt. Also, who knows when this is happening, when this is coming out. But Moore's Law is dead claims, here are the specs for the upcoming AMD 10,000 series. Is it dead? No, it's not dead yet. We're still going okay. But the upcoming 10,000 series, the numbering is a bit weird on this one. The fact that they skipped 8,000 in... at 8,000 in the desktop GPU lineup for no good reason, and we're just going with the 10,000s here. But they've got a 10,090 XT, 10,070 XT. What is the way to quickly name these? I don't know. 10,060 XT, 10,050 XT. Okay, we've got 4 SKUs of GPUs. There's a gap for an 80 in there that we've missed intentionally, because maybe that chip is just not ready for launch. Who knows? I don't really like talking about, number of compute units really that much. Some people will talk about how the top-end chip has 4 times as many as the bottom-end chip, and I guess, if you want to be like that, and compare those, sure. This is more a Mario 3 thing, isn't it? It's not quite an airship, but like we didn't really have an equivalent for this in Mario World. You just go straight into the castle. I love these cannonball power-ups. You get to shoot your cannonballs, shoot your shot, and dodge anything coming up from that perspective. And you can get more of them if you want. Very nice. I honestly don't know if Moore's Law is dead as in the law and not the person, by the way. I don't know if the actual law is properly dead. I thought I addressed that. It took me like a hot moment to like realize what you said there. Certainly, it's not law. It's a trend line more than a law. But certainly these cards look okay on paper, except the detail that they're noting here is the amount of VRAM, which first of all has a variable amount because I don't know if they're using the 24 gigabit chips or the 16 gigabit chips. This will mean that the chips might have 1.5 times more memory or not. The top end chip might be a 24 gigabyte card or a 36 gigabyte card, which will be curious if it's got that. The 10070 XT will have 16 to 24 gigs of GDDR7, both of them. The 1060 whatever will have 16 to 24 of LPDDR5X. Also Boom Boom. Everyone loves Boom Boom. This fight is easy when you can shoot him. I love Boom Boom. He's a fun villain. Now he's invisible. And now he's invisible again. I love the effect though. It's clean as well. I mean, I think you can just jump on him if you really want to, but... Oh! Almost. So close. Victory Screech! Woo! And now I gotta get the flagpole with the fire flower. Oh boy. And yeah, bottom end chip, 12 to 16 gigs of LPDDR5X. Someone will go, oh, but, you know, like a bottom end chip, that doesn't sound like too bad. You might get 12 gigs of VRAM on the lowest end chip. That's way better than NVIDIA's 8 gigs. And that is true. The price seems kind of weird. All of these have a recommended retail price, and the bottom end chip, it says between 300 and 350. I'm like, bro, if you're paying like, what would that be in Aussie dollars? That'd be like 500 and something. 500 maybe on the dot for the bottom end chip. It does feel a bit weird. I guess the lower end is gone entirely. In the kingdom of fairies with no teeth, they must mash their food with a hammer. There we go. He's happy about it, though. Very happy about it. They love their glass pipes, don't they? It's a fun theme, but alas. So I think we're set up for one more level. One more world, I guess, on the stream. We'll see how we go. I'm going through these kind of quickly. I don't know what I was expecting on how long to take. But, it's quite dense, isn't it? Lots of levels, lots of fun stuff going on. The key thing of note, though, is notice how the top two cards, the 90XT and the 70XT in these rumor mills, they're rumored to be GDDR7. The top one has a hypothetical bandwidth, and I have no idea if this is legit at all, but a hypothetical memory bandwidth of 1.71 terabytes a second. That is AMD trying to say this card is your AI inferencing card of choice. This thing is going to absolutely be incredible, at least unless you have a HBM card. Wouldn't you be a lucky guy if you're sitting on a Radeon 7 still in this day and age? Also, check it out. Hold on. I saw this thing back here. Hold on. I want to get away. Hold on. If I can hold down the button for once. Doesn't really go up any higher than I want it to, but still a fun item. I made that a bit awkward for myself, didn't I? I do want a Milky Way. Just like a dragonfly. The ground pound is always mankind's greatest secret. And then, yeah, the card below it, it's still alright. 864 gigabytes a second of bandwidth. That's perfectly half of the other one. Kind of makes sense. To me, that hints that it's half the card. It's not quite half in terms of compute units, but it's definitely half in terms of the memory bandwidth. For games, more is better, of course. Obviously, as well, sometimes it's not uniform. But that's okay. I love how they've just, like, casually pulled out, like, 2 different new power-ups in this level. And they're both awesome. 3 new power-ups. The Tanuki. I'm like, oh yeah, this is here. We tried to make the ice level more exciting by bringing back old items. Very, very nice. And they made the music fairly fun and whimsical. Music composer's going ham on this game, by the way. Just want to say that. He goes ham on most Mario games, does he? Is it still Koji Kondo? He's still doing the music on these ones? Maybe. I always feel weird because, I guess in Japan they usually do, like, surname and then kind of, like, title, I guess. You know, son or, that kind of stuff for, you know, like, the level of respect that a person should have. And in, like, English languages, we're just like, first name, last name, easy. I know I should be throwing something at this rabbit, but... Oh, but I juked him on the reverse. There you go. There you go. It's floweries. Anyways, I mentioned note of the memory bandwidth because The other two cards are using LPDDR5X. I believe this is, like, if you're using Strix Halo, this is the same kind of thing that you would have. You would have the shared unified memory of the system on the... I'm running way too fast. No, I botched it. I botched. Oh. Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh no, I'm running out of time as well. I'm sorry, Mr. Snowman. I gotta go, Mr. Snowman. I was nearly about to bottle it so hard. You thought you were gonna... You had Biendeo moment tied up. You thought you were gonna need it again. Not today. Not today. Oh, it's already been today. Not again. Anyways, point is, these cards have butt memory bandwidth. On the 60XT, 320 gigabytes a second. On the 50XT, 160. List of AMD GPUs. List of NVIDIA GPUs. I thought you'd like some reference, so let me pull that up. Compared to current AMD... No, not the actual AMD page. Compared to current AMD and NVIDIA... did I get Grokpedia in my search results? What the heck? I don't need Grokpedia. I'll give you a little bit of time. This is the last thing I've got. But, like, if we look up the RTX 5050, if you try to find a theoretical memory bandwidth on it, where is the theoretical memory bandwidth? You've got 320 gigabytes a second, and granted, this is still a GDR6 on the 5050. A theoretical bandwidth of 320 gigabytes a second. That is double what is on this 10050 XT. The 5060, it's using GDR7. I think it's the same with bus, but naturally with GDR7, you can pump more bandwidth through it. 448. And then obviously, like, once we get to the 5090, I mean, that's quite comparable. 1792 gigabytes a second. That's a lot of gigabytes a second. Also, we've got rumors of a 5090 SE, but I don't know as much information about that. Even compared to AMD's previous offerings with the 9000 series, with its GDDR6, I believe. It's just straight GDDR6 and all that. The bottom end card, which is still the 9060, mind you, you're still seeing 288 gigabytes per second of bandwidth. 320 on the XT. I mean, I guess, like, if they're saying, hey, you know, like, it's still the same, I guess. And sure, I think the easiest way to pull that off is just use a wide bus. Makes sense, but I worry, because what we've seen in the past is that cards with lower memory bandwidth scale poorly to high memory intensive use cases. I mean, I know that's obvious, but, like, the high memory intensive use cases that we previously would encounter would traditionally be rendering games in 4K at higher resolutions. And, I mean, I would love for everyone to, like, suddenly be able to not be down to 1080p still, but, like, games are so remarkably intense on the graphics hardware right now. You know what's a big bottleneck there? Memory bandwidth. Because not only, like, when we say render games at 4K, it's like, oh, you know, I guess it's got 4 times the number of pixels. I love this song, by the way. It comes up in a bunch of levels. Oh, no! These levels get tough. That's just me reading it wrong. Goodbye, green and red beings. But yeah, the memory bandwidth is a killer, and especially, you know, it's certainly needed in a lot of ray tracing scenarios because we use a lot of deferred video rendering. There's a lot of things that happen that basically is just like, we need to render to a screen buffer. We need to render to something, and then render stuff on top of that, and then render stuff on top of that, and then using the average of all of these, we blend this together, and it's not, sorry, not render on top. We need to render multiple video targets in parallel, which in parallel is good. It means that the card ideally can parallelize more, I guess. But it's rough on the memory bandwidth because it's like, wow, you know, like now the same memory bandwidth that worked fine in the past now has more stuff to do in order to make the end picture. And all of this I would add as well. I think we could do this with a long jump. my eyes right now. I'm like, come on. Don't worry, I don't need a power up anymore. Always bring out your power up just so you can replace it with another one. So you're not mushroom spamming if you ever watch it up too soon. I'm just panning for time, don't worry. But yeah, anyways, not to say that Strix Halo does play games fairly okay. It's not the worst, but ideally most of the Strix Halo devices we've seen have been, one, a bit too high power for the handheld gaming PCs, and two, handheld gaming PCs, while they're great for 1080p, even 720p, like the, thought I had it there as well. 3 deaths on this one level. I think that's more than the rest of the game combined so far. You know, I like the difficulty kind of meter in Mario Wonder. I thought that's good fun. Then I get to know which levels I'm punishing my party on. But yeah, I worry about these cards. Again, both this and the Apple one, they're both rumors. Who knows what's going on there. But I think ideally, you know, like, we're in a bit of a catch-22 in terms of, like, I think people want bigger chips because high memory bandwidth is now a much more desirable fact. And remember as well that the Strix Halo CPUs are indeed quad-channel. They have double the memory bandwidth of many consumer chips, but they're also responsible for graphics, and graphics generally does require more memory bandwidth anyways. I know you can partially see the dithering on the shadow, but I feel like it's a fun effect to come across Mario like that. Okay. Oh, I'm second guessing. There you go. First try. Oh look, a checkpoint. That would be useful. Woof. Found Luigi. Found him. I was looking for him the whole time. It's totally not me just absolutely slipping up, jumping over there because I'm holding down the run button. Ah! Ah! I'm getting a bit too arrogant. Anyways, that's it for my news. That's all I have, but certainly, we're in a weird point in time, I guess. I'm personally using a lot more AI for work. I love as well that you just... What happened? Hold on, does this go down? There we go. Go down. Ah! Okay. Don't go... Ah! That's what I get for going a bit too fast there. Gosh. They've given me the easy mode out. I can use the golden tanuki and absolutely cheat for the whole rest of the level if I really wanted to. But nope, we're doing this legit. We're not brown starring it up. We're doing this legit, so. Anyways, Vetty, if you want to start dumping some of the things that you know about, that's all fine and fair. I must say, this game is such a vibe. It really, really is. I guess I can talk about Fallout 4 as well. I mentioned it at work. They were like, oh, what did you do over the weekend? I was like, oh, I played a lot of Fallout 4. And they, like, 2 people told me, I didn't know they made a 4th season. And I was like... Not to say you need to know the games, but it's like... maybe I used binge in the wrong context. So I was binging the game. Oh, the game. Here we go. Woo! Easy jump. My voice is a little quiet compared to the game. Is it because I'm turning away slightly? It's a very, very energetic game. It's very energetic. I don't know. I don't see it on the balance. I think I just turned away. For reference, when I do use my Switch, I've got it plugged into my other monitor, so I'm actually opposite monitoring today a bit. But it's good fun. It's fun to do stuff a little differently. That's the fun. It's interesting pulling out the Switch and like recording a lot of Switch. I mean, I've done it before. I've got my workflow, you know, ready there, but I've never done it on stream. So it's always been a like, when do I do it? What's the first Switch game or any game that I play? I don't have a great composite or or a component setup for capturing, though. That's my thing. I'm using a, for reference, if you're curious, I'm using an Elgato, not an Elgato, I'm using an AverMedia GC573. That's the 4K one, but they've replaced it with a better model, and I probably would say the better model is better. Like, hold on, if I look this up as well. The GC573 is, I think my thing with it is that it's a PCIe Gen 2x4. Hold on, if I just pause in specs. Yeah, PCIe Gen 2x4, which is all fine and well. And being Gen 4 means you can plug it into a Gen 4 port on your motherboard, which is very, very nice. The driver stack's a little interesting. It does not work on Linux. I've tried. I gotta do something real fancy in order to make that work on Linux. That's a pet project of mine to figure that one out. Someone's got a driver that takes one of the enterprise variants of the card, and it can do like some real raw dog. It kind of works, but there's a bit more to the card than just the capture output, because there's blinking LEDs on it. Two, HDR is entirely driven by the software, which is very odd. I love playing Ghost Jump Rope. I got it, don't worry. I got it. I'm good. I'm good. Wait, I think they've got a new one, and let me just double check their, also, this shows up in the Edge AI Solutions page on their website. I just want to add that now. But if I go 4K capture, I believe they've got the 4K, the GC571. They've also got the GC575. But the GC571 is, that's a smaller one for Ultra HD. Okay, I guess it's the 575. I think that's a reason why I said this is... Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one. It's, he made his own homebrew for the Playdate to do that. I mean... Yeah, the only reason why you need a capture device is because, I guess, it's software, partially, video encoding. It's nice that these devices do their own video encoding on that stream a bit. I'm not too sure if you can transmit... I did. Yes. I did read it. Oh. I was hoping I could jump up on top of that, but sure. I do like... There's a Luigi. Oh! If only I had a cat power-up. Then I could climb up here. Get a bunch of 10 seconds, really? 10 seconds? It's okay. No, go, just type your stuff. Type your stuff, go for it. That's not even me talking about news. That's just my, my capture card. I thought someone would be interested in my capture card. Because I've never really played on stream. I love these stairs, by the way. Great fun. Cheeky boys. Cheeky boys. Cheeky boys, right there as well. Do I dare to risk the pipe, or I keep exploring around slightly? Mushroom, really? Wow. The game didn't even want to put it in my reserve, that's how unneeded it was. Well, this pipe's probably for something I need. So... They baited me, and then I looked at Fetty's comment. Roasting me again. Fetty, just say it! Just say your news stories! You don't need me to, like, affirm you. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Let's go for it. I will see you say it anyways. I don't, like, I mean, I know of the Playdate, but I don't really have much of an opinion on it. That's my catch, I guess. Gosh, these ghosts are cool, aren't they? Very cool. I'm almost certainly missing a star out here as well. All these windows as well. Ghost! It is. I never questioned the Brits. I remember this one, though. I 100% remember the couch secret. It's not even a secret, it's... Oh, it's like, okay. Where's the stamp? Is it above me? That's a rookie error on my part. Oh. Okay, don't die in this level. That'd be a bit embarrassing. I think it's the fake out. Yeah, it's the fake out there. Where's the stamp? Do you know where the stamp is? Off the top of your head? Oh, we missed the stamp, so I guess I'll go back for this level. Tom's not telling me where the stamp is, so... Meow. Minecraft remake called Minicraft 3D. I'm always curious about, like, pulling off 3D back in that day, but you kind of can. Kinda. But you really gotta, like, curb on what you're doing. Oh, it's a couch secret earlier. That's what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Back to the level. Back into the dungeon. Back we go. There's a ghost. There's a fire flower. I'll have it. I forgot where the first star was. Oh, I guess it's probably this, isn't it? I mean, if you... Well, one, if you're using Game Boy Color, you've got a 4 megahertz sharp... what is it, 68,000? That's 1 megahertz on the Game Boy, which I always love. Like, I don't think the Game Boy Color got as much, like, there is some real impressive stuff on the Game Boy Color, and not many developers ever really gave it the amount of time, like, necessary in order to pull that kind of stuff off. I think, there's the examples of, like, using the true color mode or the high color mode on the Game Boy Color, and it's like, wow, like, you can really, like, sit down and pull out a lot of really beautiful stuff on it. And certainly, yeah, we've seen it with, you know, people making tools like, GB Studio and other sorts of things going, hey, this is actually a relatively great system to be doing small homebrew kinds of games on it, because it's quite reliable. The, you know, like, you don't have to worry about a lot of, I got duped by it. You don't have to worry about some of the other kinds of, like, artifacting and sorts of things that happen on other consoles at the time. Granted, you've still got to work with the 160 by 144 screen on the Game Boy, but, you know, I think the color palette on the Color is very acceptable. You know, and listen, if McDonald's can put Grimace's birthday on the Game Boy, and no one questions what it looks like or anything like that, I think they've done a good job. Look at that, there's a pipe here, which means that we could be doing a Captain Toad minigame. Did I do a Captain Toad level on the previous level? The previous world? I mean, textures require work, and obviously none of it is with any acceleration. Go, 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 go. Ah. There we go. Under the gap here. At least it's got a run button, so we've got that. But yeah, a lot of games, especially at that time, maybe not now at times, but like back in the day on weaker hardware, usually there's a lot of shortcuts being done. He sinks like a stone. Now I've got to deal with this thing here. I think it's just drippy. It's just a drippy boy. I love all these levels though. They snake all, you know, in and out. Like, hold on, here we got a part here where... Is this a tap? Probably not yet. Well, why can I go up on this ledge and walk down and around here? I guess I can stand on this ledge, can't I? Faceball 3D? True, yeah. Faceball... I mean, I was talking to my mate about billboarding sprites and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you know, like it's a real hot topic on like what does billboarding sprites in the vertical axis look like, because no one's used to it. Bringing it up to me. Thank you, game. And this means now I can walk on the same ledge backwards. And this guy is now a threat. But that's okay. I can't remember if I did a Captain Toad level on the previous world. Must have. I must have. I was completely blanking out then. Speaking of fan efforts, I love fans. If you're a fan, you can say hi in the chat or the YouTube comments. The YouTube comments get lively as well. Exactly, Port to Doom. Although, granted, there are tons of people who said I made Doom in X, and they didn't actually make Doom. They made a first-person shooter, which is not Doom, but like, I feel like if you say you made Doom in something, you have to generally recreate most of its mechanics and sometimes have its levels. That's right. This level is quick fast. Okay. We're not wasting time here. Quick fire level. We got a rabbit. Rabbit's being a jerk. We need to catch the rabbit. Thank you, rabbit. Thanks for the green star. That's the second green star. Really? It's because the first one is somewhere out here. No, it's not. It was back somewhere over there. Oh my goodness. Also, I need Peach for the stamp. Ah. Oh boy. Well, I mean, I consider demakes they need to generally hit the... Yeah, I started right there. They need to generally hit the mark, I feel, with... Well, actually, sorry. I wasn't gonna make it. I just botched that up so bad. But I think it does depend on, I guess, what we consider. When someone titles, you know, a thing saying, I ported X to blah platform, I generally either expect, like... You know, like a proper port. When someone said they ported Skyrim to the TI-88 or something like that, it's like, yeah, no, that's... You didn't really support Skyrim, you ported the, well, you made a text-based adventure based on Skyrim. It's neat, it's still neat, but it's like, you know, your effort, Cassio Loopy's a curious one. I mean, if you get 6 levels, you're doing okay. I was gonna say, there was a retro achievement set the other day of Toy Story, an unlicensed bootleg port to the NES that's probably, you know, most likely based on the Travel's Tale game. And it curiously ends when Woody and Buzz get, you know, they fall out of the car at the petrol station. And, no way does this just go on forever. How hilarious. I could just do this for days. Oh, don't tap too fast. Don't jump too fast. This must absolutely suck for your cardio, though, I'll tell you that. It sucks for my cardio, but... Anyways, that's enough of that. They call me 007. Just give me fireworks. I haven't been getting fireworks numbers, have I? More of a tech demo than the finished product. Features... It depends how accurately you did, those levels. Those, yeah. Because on the other hand, you know, as much as I say, oh, you know, is it a pure port? It's like, well, you know, the Super Nintendo version of, Doom didn't really get those levels quite right either. So, for reference, if we change the Peach, this is a required component of the game. Switching between different characters is very important because then you can float as Peach and make the game slightly easier for yourself. Ever so slightly easier. Or Luigi, who jumps a bit better. But none of these levels are particularly, like, impossibly hard for a certain character. But you do have to just note that you're gonna find these stamps at some point, and it's kind of annoying when you don't play as the character who you need as it. But these flagpoles are so much easier as Peach, I tell you. So here's a question. You said that I had to beat the game as every character, like... I'm curious where that gets, you know, tracked, where that shows up somewhere. Maybe it's a post-game thing. Maybe it tells you eventually. Anyways, look at this guy. He's chilling in the way. I guess true. Yeah, you know, you're not wrong there. Not wrong there, but... I mean, think about it. They ported Black Ops 1 and 2 very faithfully. They even recreated the game's weird monetization model. It's not a weird monetization model. It's pretty normal for its time. That is indeed Mario. He is still Mario right there. I thought I'd roast Fallout 4 while you're typing up your next story. I'll read it out as you go, but okay. Alright, sure, yeah. Indeed. It's hard to show up on stream. I really need to start putting, like, bubbles behind the text, because especially, like, right now, it's like you can barely read it on the screen. Or maybe it's because I've got a smaller preview than I typically would. There are more tales of games recently preserved. Giant enemy crabs. I think I really like this level, actually. I love the vibe, but also I like these beach levels. I really just need the cat power up here. Tales of Quiz. Yes. I mean, I've only played one Tales of game, so I can only tell you so much. They juked me. I thought there was going to be something meaningful up here. Gosh, I botched up the timing of that. 2 more pure spin-offs. Ah, okay. I love RPG spin-offs of things where it's like... I did not know that this was going to be an RPG, even though it already was an RPG franchise of some kind. Is this a secret up here? No, it's not. I thought there was something on this side of the... No, it probably doesn't. They made this wall very high for a reason. What do you say, Cosmo? Is this the speedrunner Cosmo? I'm just curious. There's not many Cosmos that float around, I guess. Rockman Cosmo, okay. Different Cosmo. Speedrunner Cosmo never played Rockman. I love the sunken pirate ship. It's good fun. This game's a vibe. This game's filled with like just tons of like fun environments and things like that. I think the only catch I can really say is there's a little bit of an identity crisis compared to like other sorts of Mario games. I think a lot of the round, boxy aesthetic, you know, in terms of the countercultural vibe of the GameCube, there's something rather sterile and plasticine about the Wii U's look. I think the effects are neat. Like, obviously, I love this, you know, Mario holding his breath there, and bubbles coming out. I love the way a lot of the lighting is, like, just quite harsh and strong in many of the games of this era. As well as also, you know, like, hey, I'm going around picking up kind of bonus things like that. But it's like, yeah, you know, like, the lighting is fairly fun and dynamic, and I mean, you know, it serves the purpose. As much as other games, you know, especially older games, I think a lot of people can easily point to the camera being rough on various 3D games. And that was always the classic argument for, like, why people preferred playing 2D games over 3D ones, was because so many 3D games with bad camera angles. As much as everyone likes Mario 64, it gets it wrong. It's still a game that you have to try and work with. Up I go. There we go. Super Bomberman Collection. Oh, I missed the middle star somewhere. Darn. We'll find out in a moment. Coins. They're very important to my well-being. I did get the stamp, so... I saw you. I saw you, another one. Oh, dang it. And now I have crushed all the money out of him. You know, that's another franchise that I just not play that many games of. I know of the weird first-person shooter game, though. I know of it. Alright, let's see if we can get a top flagpole and then just try this level again. A lot of them involve just a long jump somewhere. Makes it tense. Oh, posture check. There we go. There we go. Oh, what's over here as well? Oh, a different level. Different levels over there. Got it. It's a bit of a sad one. We had a... Just as a side note, we had two sudden... I guess one's a politician and not as much a celebrity, but like, sudden deaths really got people. So we lost, not we, but, like, my mate, was chatting about, a US senator just died in office, which is very, very sad. But also, like, today, like 5-6 hours ago, they announced, Sam Neill had suddenly passed, and he was, like, battling cancer, and it's just like, he had one, apparently, and then just suddenly, boom, he's just gone. It really gets you. It's like, oh, jeez, you know? I hate the sudden ones. I don't know, I prefer to know it's coming. I'm mentally prepped a bit. Proceeds to leave us hanging. The chat message is gone. No one realizes you're talking about a famous passing. Not a literal death. Okay, well, I've ruined the spirit a bit. I'll make some fun out of it. I had a mate of mine send a picture of her bird in the Discord chat with no context, and she was holding the bird like just with like one hand, and so I said in the chat, chicken nugget, and then she says her bird died, and I'm sitting there going, I called your bird a chicken nugget, and I'm just like, I did not know this context ahead of time. She was cool with that. I'm okay. We're cool. But now, whatever you do, if you leave out context, beware. I will always give a rather inappropriate response to it. I'm sorry. I am so sorry for calling your late bird a chicken nugget. He was a bit of a chicken nugget, that bird, though. Yeah, did I just never go up here? Oh, I got the stamp. Must be like a crack in the wall or something that I just missed. In that case. Oh yeah, that, yeah. It was there the whole time. Yeah, coins! I do like coins. Germany's largest video game is International Computer Spiel Slamlung. It's set to close this month after its funding from the Berlin State. I'm curious, I'm always on the fence about federal funding places. And to be fair, they can always just try and raise money for private funding. And in theory, you can lock the assets up in warehousing. Hold on, I want to see how easy it is to get this from, like, standing up here. Hold on. Not really, it's not very easy. But there's a lot of things like that where they're technically physical preservation organizations and stuff like that. And I mean, like, on the one hand, I think it's good to be preserving stuff, but on the other hand, it's like, yeah, like, this kind of stuff does need funding. I mean, if it's not coming from people, there's only so much you can expect from the, the public funding on that one. Not to say you shouldn't but I wouldn't say I can rely on it in that kind of sense.
Let's go.
I love this level, by the way. There's a handful of levels like this. It's even got the the music, the one from the SNES game. I think I've played Mario, like Super Mario Kart, like once. I've never really like stuck around to like absolutely master it. Maybe one day I'll play it on Retro Tunes. Given I hit the flag, I most likely skipped a green star on the lower part there, and I definitely would skip it if I didn't hit that. I guess. Did I miss a green star? Oh. Yes, I very did. That just means we get to experience this level twice. And everyone's got a stamp. Well, again, it's like... I think no do-overs on that green star there. I mean, that's the thing with non-profits, is that, like, they're only relevant as much as the interest, you know, outpaces the, well, sorry, they're only relevant if the revenue comes in. Many non-profits make profits, if that makes sense. So I guess they bank it or they invest it into growing into something else, but they're strictly not intended for, you know, the salaries become a bit more fixed. I think there's a lot of rules and stuff around how a non-profit works, at least in my country. It's different for every country. It's different for every one of them. But yeah, physical, okay, sure. But, I mean, that's the problem with, you know, I mean, to some degree, as much as, you know, when I say, oh, you know, like, public funding, you can't fully trust it because it can disappear, I'm like, well, private funding can sometimes very disappear, unless it is publicly traded, I guess. Oh! I mean, I guess I'll keep that green star, but that was a bit of a doozy. I feel like I'm cheating because I get to keep it. You know, I didn't even successfully do that. But I do think that a lot of rich people should be, like, investing in the arts and other sorts of things like that. Even in some way. Elon Musk should have a copy of every single Sega Genesis game. Every single one of them. Why not? How much would a copy of every Sega Genesis game actually like cost? At least US release. Gosh. Do I need the cat power for that? I think I do. I think I do need the cat power. There's no way I can do the leap. Do they give a cat power on this level, or I just have to hold on to it from another level? We'll come back once I've got the cat from another level. The next Nintendo Lego set will be based on the original arcade Donkey Kong. I think I've seen something that looks a lot like it, so I feel like I probably saw it. Alleged leak, maybe. How does one leak Lego? That means that you're either an insider, you're just like, you work for them, and you've decided to casually mention this externally, or alternatively, you properly hacked into the Lego data servers and found all this unannounced stuff that's sitting there ready to, you know, ready to be told off to the world. Like, but like, what was your intention? What were you trying to do there? I don't know what the story is either way. Someone shared a photo on Reddit. Is it a photo of like a screen somewhere? Also, this world has way more levels than the previous one. Wow. And for reference, there are more than, I think it's 6 worlds, is there? There's 4 special worlds, so really we're dealing with 10 worlds in this game, so it's not over in 2 streams, don't worry. Or even 3 streams. It'll take a few. Not too many, but a few. It's a photo of the box. Oh, he's holding it. He's holding the box right there. I don't know the photo, but like, he's just got the box. These wide question mark blocks are a very curious addition to this game, though. Hello there, Mr. Fairy. Well, the goal's down there, but what do you want me to do about it? I like these guys, these little lizard kind of guys. I'm not talking about them bees. It's a lot of bucks, but I like the idea. I don't know why I was like, oh, how do I do this? Touchscreen. Touchscreen. This is one I feel like probably comes a bit more naturally with the Wii U. Just have to kind of wing it on this version. I mean, I don't imagine Lego sets are there for too long ahead of time, so... yeah. I've been playing Fallout 4, and all I can say is GDQ cancelled their partnership with SNK. They've cancelled their partnership with SNK. I haven't watched a GDQ in ages. The vibe of GDQ has always been a bit curious for me. I'll wait until they play a Saudi Arabian... sorry, they play an EA published game. Oh, they're coming for me. Real talk, by the way, I hate, like... how would I say? I personally have no gripes with stuff really made from any other country. I feel like I don't know. I don't like the idea of going, oh, I hate company because they are based in country or owned by country or you know, like literally in some cases, but like... it's like, you know, whatever. If the content's good, you know, like, the content's good. Every country loves funding to the arts. I'm not, like, that much, I don't know, I'm not that much, you know, like, the whole world's gotta... I don't know how to describe it. You know what I mean? There's a feeling of, like... and obviously, you know, you plug your nation's kind of art material in some way. Yeah. They've done a lot of things for ethical reasons there at oh, I thought, oh, there is the green star there. I knew that would be over there. Oh, I've missed another green star. Is this the top one we go for, or the bottom one we go for? Oh, bottom one. Oh, this is going to be kind of awkward. Or I just commit with the suicide play. No, let's not. Oh, yeah, I mean... I think there's some things... I know of some people who have gotten kicked out of GDQ. I don't know if they've been kicked out on the event, but certainly kicked out in the sense of they're never allowed back to speedrun games, despite them just being all about speedrunning games, right? That should be the intention, but alas. They've got some choosiness about them, and it is their event, I guess. I don't know if it's actual the founders ever you know, opined on it, but I don't know. Some of those reasons are just like, they're weird reasons, I guess. But I personally, like, I don't really care, you know. Especially remember when the Russia-Ukraine war came out, a lot of people, like, instinctively, like, just ditched Russian-made stuff, and I'm just sitting there going, like, you know, sometimes the Russians, like, they make good things. You know, in the grand scheme of things, I'm gonna play a video game, and if it's got a virus on it, or that's a game with a virus on it, like, I ain't playing it then. But, like, I wouldn't do that if that was a locally made game with a virus. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why... In that case, they're Russian, not owned by Russia. Well, yeah, in that case, it definitely was. The Saudi Arabian one, I mean, you know, the line gets blurred a bit more, but it's not like... Well, SNK is Japanese. It is a weird... Well, a weirder case, I guess, for companies to be owned by governments across the pond, somewhat. A sneaky U-turn? Alright, see that now this says a bit more. The article that you're that you're citing, and granted it's rock, paper, shotgun, so I'll grant a salt on them, because I think they've said some things that I'm not too sure I fully agree with in the past. Sneaky U-turn on a decision to host a sponsored SNK stream last night after receiving a wave of... Okay, see, now that reads differently. So, a wave of backlash over its choice to work with the Speedy... Oh, sorry, Speedy. Sorry. But still, well, Speedy probably works better as a pun, doesn't it? Cancel deals done quick. But yeah, this, I mean, if, to be fair as well, okay, this is a wider topic of me that I'm just going to mention here. But companies that backpedal or change things because of community backlash are complete cheapskates, and like there is no ethical, like, how would I say? They're doing it for themselves. They clearly agree, and they're scapegoating the responsibility by saying, "Oh, we did it because we got so much backlash. We're just doing it for our fans." No, you did it because you agreed with it. You agree with it. And if you weren't too sure at first, I get it. Lots of companies, they test the waters. They say something, it rubs the wrong way, and then they don't say anything on social media for a week after they announce that they're removing the disc-based things on the PlayStation. You know, like that kind of stuff. Oh, there's a box here. I assume this isn't... No, this wouldn't do it. But I'm very critical of companies when they say, "Oh, due to the negative, you know, the negative feedback we got, this could be rock, paper, shotgun," and, you know, trying to put two and two together as well, so, changing the product. Well, sometimes it does work, I agree to that, but, like, that's the problem with it's a cop-out excuse, is because I think someone there at, Sony Pictures, who did the Sonic movie? Universal? I don't know, there's someone there. Someone there agrees with the feedback. You know, people are ripping on, I say people. I don't know how many people, but certainly, like, we don't respond to mobs. We don't respond to, like, you know, like, oh, there's big backlash on, like, you know, this movie or that movie or something like that. And it's like, there's more to it than that. Like, obviously, if the owning material changes is a little bit of that. And I don't think there's anything wrong, like, to me, I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, what they've done. There's, you know, it's an SNK event that they had already planned. Can I duck under this? Yeah, I can. I was like, it read to me like it was something fancy, but I never really did. But yeah, like, it really does irk me. It really does irk me to have, like, a company basically go, "We have no..." Oh, I just sailed past it. I was expecting it to move a bit more than it did. Oh, and I didn't even hit a checkpoint in the level. Really? Jeez. Sorry, my bad on that one. I'm padding for content. This is a longer world. I've been here for an hour and a bit, haven't I? I think we're nearly done, although I do need to bring a cat back for the other level. It's not a world clear unless we've got that done. But not, well, yeah, it can happen to communities as well. We've seen it with various other communities as well. I've definitely seen it with other ones. We mentioned retro achievements. That one's different though, because that, well, actually, yeah, no, I think that's the same. I think that's the same kind of principle. I think whatever happened at that level, I'm like, you know, I think it's, you know, the man in charge. He agreed with the sentiment that he saw. And he went with it. So, there you go. Relevant example that always comes up in our conversations. And let's, I mean, own up to it. That's all I say out of it. Like, but like, if you have, you know, like, if you're like, oh, people have brought up feedback and I agree with it, like, just own up to the decision. Don't tell the media, actually, if you're part of the media as well, you know for a while exactly what you're doing here. But it's like, you know, like, I don't know, I just read it as clearly people at the company have to make the decision, and therefore it's not completely in a vacuum, that they're just listening to feedback. I did it twice! I did it twice! Oh, slightly different jump, but it's the same problem. At least I hit the checkpoint this time. Don't know how I missed it last time. I realized red coins only count as 1 coin on the coin counter. Isn't that a bit interesting? Well, anyways, that story ticked something in me. I'm like, oh. I really don't. There's a full statement? Okay. Did they do the twit longer, or it's... Maybe it's blue sky, isn't it? Maybe I should be tapping these guys. I don't think tapping's actually helping there. Alright, here we go. I will read this in a hot moment. Give us a long jump. There we go. We have cancelled our sponsored stream. We've heard the concerns from the community. Blah, blah, blah. We will not accept the funds from the sponsorship. Okay, we've committed to supporting human rights and inclusivity, and we recognize that this conflicted with those values. We failed to, like... Okay, that's... we want to apologize to the runners and our hosts on the stream who had nothing to do with this decision. You know, at least they're owning up to the decision, but they did, you know, highlight right off the bat. It is blue. I was thinking it was probably blue sky. Don't ask me why. I don't think I'd want to explain this whole reasoning, but in fact, I can call it big box, small box. But yeah, like when they immediately said like they've cancelled the stream, big. Also, did you copy that verbatim, by the way? I know they've given me a choice here, but there you go. That's my cat power. Did you, like, copy that out of? Because they spelled cancelled wrong right off the top. And I'm like, come on, guys. Spell check your own message. There's 2 L's in cancelled. There's 2 L's in many verbs like that, where you've got the past tense. Come on, guys. Can't believe it. One thing I'll roast on Fallout 4, by the way, just as I'll keep roasting it for a bit while I've got time left. Spell checking. The amount of times that they double space in the subtitles, or they single, like, they don't put a space, or the commas in the wrong place, or they use the wrong your, has come up so, like, quite a bunch of times. I don't mind it when people, like, you know, like, everyone in writing, but, like, there's a difference between, there's a big blue sky post of your thing that you're cancelling. Like, that's a formal company announcement. I don't care typos in generally typo-prone scenarios. Fast typing and things without review, certainly very common for people to have typos. But yeah, like, I try my best in, like, real published writing. I try to make sure. Is that really an American thing? Really? What the heck? What? No way. Okay, as much as... Listen, the Americans are wrong on 2 things, which is... that, and, what's the other one? I'm not a big fan of, there's Luigi. I'm not a big fan of the Z on, various words, like, I guess, what's the one I always use? You know, like, contextualize, or, not sympathize, but it's like, it's the same word, it's the same sound. I'm like, cancellation should always be with 2 L's. Oh, wait, what? Really? It's different with cancelled and cancellation? That is so bizarre. I will sometimes never understand English in its own various forms and ways. But, alas. The Bullet Bill Express! That's right, the train is late. How bizarre. Exactly. Listen, at least Italian doesn't have so many weird rules, right? I think we always get into this discussion, and I always mention that Latin is a fairly smooth language. And I don't know how every other language manages to add so many exceptions to their own rules. What are the names of these things? I've forgotten. Exato. Also, cat bullet bills. This is the worst thing since sliced bread, or the best thing. I like as well spinning around the bullet bills with the... Oh, there it goes. Return to center right there. So, anyways, I'll roast Fallout 4 for a bit. Fallout 4, spoiler free. I kind of 2.5 it. I don't feel Italian. Yeah, it does. Does Italian have Pluperfect case? Or Pluperfect 10, sorry. I did. I feel like I shouldn't have done that, and I've done it twice now. The 2 moments when there's a Mega Mushroom, and I've broken the pipe. Yeah, Pluperfect's such a curious one, because English is so hard to, like, convey what is, imperfect case and imperfect tense, and, Pluperfect's a bit weird. English has, like, a soft meaning for it, because it's like, well, if you say you had done something, it means you, like, very did it in the past, I guess, but, like, if it's in the past, it's still in the past. Yeah, it's as in the past, it was done in the past. Boom, boom. Okay, this fight's smooth. I like this fight. It's good fun. Yeah, Imperfect is out of fashion a bit. I think, yeah, Aladdin had 6 tenses. So, typically, I mean, yeah, Imperfect and Pluperfects were sort of the odd ones you'd learn. But then you'd get, you know, perfect tense, which is your typical past tense that most people use. Although in English, I mean, people use imperfect all the time. It's just they don't realize it. You'll say, I was running. It's like, well, that's imperfect, because it doesn't tell you that you stopped running. But I ran sort of has more of an intention that you don't run anymore. Present makes sense all the time. Future makes sense all the time. Future perfect. In the future, it will have happened in the past. Which is a bit more seldom used, but perfect is past, but yeah, perfect is complete. Exactly. It's part of the word. Perfect, imperfect. It's like a perfect cadence. And then imperfect cadence is like a cadence that actually hasn't happened. I have the blue hammer. So, but yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't been loving Fallout 4. I think my problem is that the writing is rather weak on Fallout 4. And they've tried their best. There's a lot of the writing. And there's occasions when the story writing is actually really nice. I really liked this plot writing around the companion Nick Valentine. He shows up in the main story. It's very hard to avoid him as a character. But yeah, certainly, like, there's a lot of padding. There's a bit of inconsistency on, I guess, how the main character is meant to be written. Fallout 4 has an especially egregious problem where all the dialogue, in an attempt to try and make it more dynamic, you're given only 4 options at a time. Almost always the options are agree, disagree, ask you know, sort of a follow-up question, or whatever sarcastic means in the moment. They're not really too sure if that means agree, disagree, or just riff for a bit. But also sarcastic is like sometimes very mean-spirited and sometimes just a joke. It's very hard for me to like come to grips with what my character is like meant to be feeling in a moment if I hit these buttons. So I generally tried to avoid it because I wasn't too sure, you know, what makes sense there. Usually as well, and actually every time there's a speech check, the speech check often bit of lag there. Also, I'm glad you can turn these things around. Extra news, okay. The speech checks often don't mean anything, like if you fail them. And also, various lines of dialogue, even if you pass a speech check, it might be the exact same line of dialogue that you end up reading. Also, rip. Could have picked up those points, and I didn't. It might be the exact same line of dialogue that you're reading, regardless if you pass or fail the speech check, or depending on the option you pick, sometimes it's the exact same line of dialogue, and it doesn't really matter what you picked. You just say something else. Dialogue aside, then it's like, okay, well, how does the gameplay fare? And it's like, the shooting is stronger, But the problem with shooters is that there's two angles to it. Shooters are not only does the gun feel accurate and meaningful against enemies, but also is the level design well? The enemies moving around the environment well? Is there enough variety with the things I'm hitting? Super Yanoman Collection. He is indeed super. In Fallout 4, while it's getting the gunplay a bit better, the environments are dreadful to shoot enemies in. The visibility is very, very weak throughout the whole game. Many enemies sort of stay awkwardly in cover. Not to say as in they shouldn't, they shouldn't stay in cover, but they often, well, if they're melee enemies, they just lunge at you and it's kind of brain dead, they're just coming at you. If they're ranged enemies, they often do find some bit of cover that's around them to before continuing, but then them staying in cover feels very odd. It's very easy for them to blend in with the color palette and the environment going on, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, maybe they'll get translated. I feel like we've done every one of these levels. Is there anything else I'm missing? There's some bonus levels that will eventually show up at some point, but I feel like we're fairly done. Ah, okay. Worlds 1 and 2 are a tad shorter. They're 2 levels shorter than the rest. But yeah, we did the Captain... Oh, we didn't have a Captain Toad level. We had the Switch Palace level. That's why. Other than that, I feel like we're pretty solid done on this one. So I feel like that's a good end point for the stream. I don't know, but I'll mention Fallout 4. Perks are okay, but I feel like everyone is sort of centralizing on the exact same perks. Stealth just means nothing because you have to invest so many points before you can actually try it. You're done with the news as well, yes. Also, the game runs like butt on PC. Never mind that the load times are ridiculous. Never mind that the performance goes to 30 FPS on my 4080. Granted, I'm at 4K, but there are lots of other games that look better and run better, and this thing is an absolute chore to run. People give it a free pass because it's oh, big open world Bethesda game, but it's no! There are way more visually interesting games. Aren't even bound to this. It's just that Bethesda's done something so clunky on the implementation side. It's hard to explain, I guess. I do like the texture work, and the game's environments look nice, albeit it gets a bit repetitive for the long-term... I see that detail. It gets a bit repetitive for the long-term, going through the same kinds of environments again and again, but... I mean, every Fallout has kind of been like that. I do wish that they made a Fallout game with a bit more conservative of a length, and then just putting their effort into making the game, good. Because, I mean, yeah, as I said, it's Bethesda is slipping. The strengths have happened ages ago. Oh, wait, do we have an intermediate stage? We do have an intermediate stage. Stream's not over yet. Stream's not over yet. We gotta do this level. I forgot this showed up. It's part of World 3. Can't leave you hanging just yet. Oh look, there's 1 star. You know what we're in for here. Yeah, they did say that, and as much as people are hyping them up, I'm this is the same Obsidian that, made the Outer Worlds 2. And Avowed. And, various other games that while people, there you go, remember me calling out these enemies ages ago. Not to say that, they can't make a game, but, just because they made a game that people like, and I did like New Vegas more than Fallout 3, but I don't love it. I kind of feel like there's a lot of fundamentals, and partially with the combat, just really was that great on the engine anyways. But also it's some of the emergent gameplay and the storytelling, Fallout 2 does remarkably well. Every time I hear someone go, oh, you know, which game should I play? And you recommend them, like, anything that's, like, slightly older. And they'll be like, ew, it's old. It's played from a top-down perspective. It's like, just not, nah, man. Don't let that filter you out. It's a very approachable game, Fallout 2. So I'd still put that as my favorite. Again, it's not to say that old games are better than new games necessarily, because I kind of like Oblivion a bit more than Morrowind, for example. It's called isometric. Exactly, yes. It's isometric. It's not even from the 45-degree angle. It's like 30-degree or something. It's like a little odd. Like, some of the writing in Fallout 2 is way amazing. It's great. I love it. So, I like how I said, oh, hold on, I've got one more level, and then, like, a minute later, we're done. Sometimes, I impress myself. I'm the most humble man out there, apparently. Sorry, did I say there's 6 worlds? There's 8. It's 12 worlds. Sorry. So, we're gonna be here for a bit. I don't know how to pace this out across the, future streams, but, well, here we go. We're done with World 3. We're on to slightly more desert. It's technically canyon level. It's not desert level, so... Alright. But, hey, you know, here we are, World 4, so... the problem is I don't think I can keep it up. Like, I think it would probably be a 5 or even a 6 stream game, depending on how we go. But, we'll see. But, with that, I would like to thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this stream or you like me jumping off of cliffs all the time, that's okay. You can follow on Twitch, 8:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time every Monday, where I'll do another 2.5-hour stream or so of Mario 3D World. We'll keep clearing it through, and no, I've been enjoying it. It's been quite nice to get back into playing this one a bit. So that's been good fun. Missed parts of this, the VOD will be on YouTube at some point in the next day or so. VODs will, at least for other games I've played, as I haven't mentioned the Fetty yet. VODs for other games. When was the last time I played a Mario game? Wario Land 4, maybe? Maybe. That was a year ago. You can check that on YouTube. I'll say funny things on the Fediverse sometimes. And other than that, stay safe, eat your greens, don't stay up too late. Check out this game. I'm not even emulating it now. This is just the real system. So, have a good one. Peace.